several years ago from work that I do. My whole thing is wrong, wrong, right, right. That's how I look at certain situations. And when she went over everything with me, I'm sitting up here like, this is crazy. As far as the young man should not have been stabbed, whoever stabbed him.
So, before who were we referring to when you're talking about her?
Okay, the young lady. So you don't know why we're here. So
No.
he just told you that it was a protest. So how did you guys know what was going on?
Well, yeah, I mean, we have information that there was going to be a protest at the station house, and that it was related to the cutting that occurred on Washington Boulevard. Beyond that, I don't have much more information.
Oh, you didn't have any information. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what's going on.
Yep.
The young lady Cachet reached out to us thinking that it's a racial thing would happen. What we want, we just want the film to be aired on TV so they can see that. First and foremost, she's out on the $7,500 bail, $75,000 bail. The store owners mentioned that Detective Powell, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name, that he had the film.
Okay.
So that can prove that she was hit in her face first with a brick.
Okay.
And that's why she had to defend herself and hit someone with a bat.
Okay.
Wrong, right, right. Whatever the knife or whomever had the knife, that we don't know right now. Another thing we wanted, her 14-year-old daughter,
Excuse me for 1 second, please.
You're fine, sir.
Yes, sir. One.
Put the kids with you. That's it. And that's the only one. It's just 3 questions we just want to answer. And I know there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, no, so basically, and I explained to the gentleman here, right? So, in terms of the investigation, right? The investigation's ongoing, so I'm not going to get into the specifics of what has been done, what hasn't been done. Typically, any video evidence does not get released while the investigation is ongoing.
Okay.
So, I don't know that is going to happen in terms of releasing that footage to the media or to whomever, right? As part of the legal process, obviously all of that will be turned over as part of the discovery process, but that's all done through the state's attorney's office, right? We turn our case over to them, they decide, what is applicable evidence, what isn't, right? In terms of who was charged and what they were charged with, again, that, we present the facts as we know them, based on our observations, based on the witnesses that we interviewed, and based on the investigation.
But no one came to visit the 14-year-old, the young lady that was stabbed in her groins, her daughter. No one, and I don't want to say, like, when I spoke to her, no one from Baltimore City Police Department. The only person she mentioned that reached out to her was the people at Johns Hopkins Hospital. She's a child, and right now, it's that's my question. You guys have a job to do, and as I mentioned, you guys have a tough job. However, fair, right. That's a 14-year-old child that was stabbed. No one from not. And understand, being a mom, if your 14-year-old child was stabbed, you want someone from the law enforcement to come and reach out to your child to find out what's going on, And as I mentioned, I don't know everything that has happened because I was not there. The only thing I know that what was told to me, I know that the other officer, and I can't think of his name, the one that was there at the time, he said that, just read both reports. I have 2 different reports in my car now. He mentioned that Cachet swung the bat over him and hit one of the kids. No person in right mind is gonna, while the officer is there, and maybe wrong time, I don't know, but no one in their right mind while officer standing right here would swing and hit anyone. So and as I mentioned to you, guys got a tough job. However, it's just fair, right. I did do some Google about that particular area, and I see that a lot of things has happened in that area.
In terms of what?
African American kids that has happened in that area. And as I mentioned to Ms. Cachet, certain areas, try to Google and find out what area is good.
This Ms. Cachet right here.
It is what it is, yeah. So I truly appreciate you coming out just in peace. That's it. We didn't come in we're coming in peace. Just want some answers. That's it. Our 14-year-old daughter's right there. No one's still haven't they didn't take a report, didn't write anything. She's not I don't want to say, she's a normal 14-year-old, and where it is, okay, we want our kids to trust law enforcement and want them to respect, and that's what we're trying to do in the city, trying to bridge that gap. But when you have situations like this, it's looking like, okay, here I am, who's there to protect me? Who's there to hear, what happened to me? So that's my main thing right now. Who was there to help her, and that's what we want. Like,
right. So you're a victim?
Yeah, she was the 14-year-old that was stabbed.
Okay.
She was one of the kids, and we spoke to, and she was transported to Johns Hopkins.
Okay.
Report, nothing. She just got her stitches out yesterday. But no one has been there to
I'm sorry.
Samir.
So that's why we're here. Like, no one has, as of yet, been out to visit this young lady.
Okay.
So can you tell me why, or?
Well, I don't know the answer to that question, right? So, again, in terms of the overall investigation,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be honest with you, all the names and everybody involved, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look. So I don't know if she was mentioned in the reporting at all, or any of the follow-up, or, typically, procedurally, if someone's taken to the hospital, that's reported. I mean,
And they kept her overnight. She wasn't just taking
yeah, so that's why I'm kind of confused as to why that wouldn't be it. And, quite frankly, I need to follow up and find out. I don't know the answer.
That's my whole, just wondering. I know it was two other kids, or three other kids that were allegedly stabbed, and she was the fourth one. And you got to look at it on now. Why no one went to Johns Hopkins to write a report about her?
I'm sorry, can you
You're
excuse
fine.
me for a minute?
Yep, you're good.
Colonel.
She just came from basketball.
Black police do whatever white police. And that's it. That's what we need is for some answers, some questions for, and I'm horrible. The reason why no one came in. And see how you just interact with him? So that's a good impression. Things like that, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bridge that gap. And here in the city with everything else going on with the Freddie Gray and all of that, we're trying to bridge the gap. However, with situations like this, how can we bridge it? We need them to be fair with each and every citizen here, and especially, mom never been arrested, don't have a criminal
situations with me going to the house and getting the stuff, and
the police officer told her she can't come back.
Well, not me, but the police, but the when I did go, and the three white young men going past the van, her van, because they know her van. I was driving it at the time, but the three white guys coming past, and when they get to the corner, they hurl an open can of ginger ale.
What?
Comes past my head, all the ginger ale comes down on me, and it comes in front of the police officer. I gotta ask him, bend down his car, you're not gonna do anything about that? And he said, was it the one in the black t-shirt? I'm like,
He saw it. He still didn't do anything.
So,
and then when I come out,
See,
there are
that's
two of them
that's
out
they
there,
ride, too.
and one's like this, so I'm not gonna believe anything everybody says about. I just kept walking. I don't need any confrontation.
so, I've explained essentially in terms of the investigation. So you were one of the individuals charged. And, so again, I don't want to get into the specifics of the case, right? Because obviously you've been charged in it, and in terms of the investigation, again, won't get into the specifics. But I will tell you this, right? So the way the process works, this particular incident, the officer got what we called an on-view incident, right? There was no 911 call. They were there when this occurred, right? So you have that officer's initial observations of the incident, right? So he makes his report, and a case like this where individuals sustain some injuries and things of that nature, the detective unit does follow up.
But I have a question. If he's seen this escalating from across the street when they were by the store, why didn't he get out and defuse the situation? He did not.
Well, I don't know what his thinking was. I don't know why he didn't do that. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I'm not gonna, Monday morning quarterback per se the decisions that he made. I can tell you that he made observations, observed a crime being committed, and made arrests as he deemed appropriate. Right. On the follow-up side of that, the detectives were involved. They interviewed witnesses. They reviewed videotapes.
So they see them get hit in the face with the brick first?
Again, I'm not going to comment on the specifics of the case.
Okay.
So, and I can tell you in this particular case as well, once the detectives have, done a preliminary investigation, it's presented to the state's attorney's office, right? The state's attorney's office is the entity that decides essentially on who gets charged with what, the severity of the charges, and who they're going to, seek a prosecution for, right? Once that's determined, they'll determine whether or not to present the case to the grand jury or, going down the line in terms of the legal process. Does that make sense? You follow? You understand what I'm saying?
It's not fair that we were the only ones that were arrested, and if we was there from the jump, we saw us get assaulted.
Right. So what I can tell you, this is, from what has been reported to me, this was a very dynamic crime scene. Right? There's a lot of things going on. Multiple suspects, multiple victims, right? And you have one officer, right? So you have to take all this into account. Things are moving very quickly, right? The key here is that a follow-up investigation was conducted. The detectives were involved, and I can tell you that the state's attorney that is responsible for these type of cases, the division chief, was right in there with the detectives, interviewing witnesses, going to the crime scene, conducting some of the follow-up investigation.
Right.
He did not.
So
He did not complete an investigation.
So here, and I told you what I need
He's
to do
not
with that.
He's not worried about us. That's the point. He worried about them.
No, that's not true.
That's what it's saying.
So
That's what it's saying.
you're bringing this to my attention today. This is the first time I'm hearing this. So you need to give me an opportunity to follow up and find out what's going on. I just told you, I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is, but I need to find out.
So if this is the first time you're hearing about
Can we
it,
talk to him? Because he was there.
wait a minute. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, that means the state's attorney didn't hear about it, correct?
I don't know. That's why I need to follow up and find out. Maybe they have. Maybe
They don't have a complete investigation.
Don't know, man. Don't know. It just may be because I don't know.
But I know I've called the station twice, and I've said
Right. And
she was injured.
what I'm telling you, something may have been done about it. I'm just not aware of it. I need to follow up and find out. I can't tell you right here and now what the answer to that question is.
At least by now. I mean, from the 20.
Are they still able to make the report?
Yes.
John Hopkins, we have,
And today is almost a month later. So, and she still hasn't been contacted.
So I will find out, and that's what I'm telling you. I will find out. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh,
because one of the officers called the ambulance for her, got her to the hospital, the gentleman right there, but his information is not in the system. And
He was right there.
It was him.
the other gentleman right there.
And there was another white man. He was standing in the street. I was on the porch, bleeding the whole time. He
The
was like, "Go
news
get them
shows
niggas
her
on the
getting
porch.
in
Go
the
get them
ambulance."
niggas on the porch." I heard exactly what he said.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
right for
that's
them
what
not to
she
do
heard.
nothing about it. And they see me in the hospital, standing
the only
there the
one who
whole
heard it.
time.
He
That's
said that?
ridiculous. He said that.
The
out
police
his
officer
mouth.
said that?
Not him. It was another one. He had gray hair in his head.
And white,
White and gray.
yeah, with the tattoos all
Yeah,
over.
all
Yeah.
on him.
What is his
He
name?
listened to him. And it was
I
a
don't
black
know if
officer
that's
that came on
Detective
the porch. He
Davis.
was like,
Officer Davis, or if it's another one. But he has white hair and he has tattoos all over his arms.
What did he
And
tell
he's
you?
the one who had
he
my
said,
nephew.
he told the black
ground
man
who
on the
tased
porch.
him.
He was outside in the street. He told the black man, "Go get them niggas on the porch." He came directly on the
It was
porch and was
the
like, "Are
police
you
who-
okay? Do you need me to call the ambulance?" Of course.